This clip is going to look at the use of charts in Microsoft Excel. So when we want to look at data, we can look at it in a spreadsheet like we have here for the Midland Hospital and its amount spent on meat, and look at the labels and the values. So we have beef, its forecast expenditure, its actual expenditure. The forecast was over 18,000, the actual was 8,000. Chicken, 15,000, the actual 26,000. So what we might want to do is portray this in graphical format. And Excel has a wide range of options to allow us to do that. So what we're going to do initially is look at a pie chart. And when we're working on pie charts, we can't display the labels here, the beef, chicken, lamb, the forecast, and the actual spending. We only can display two of those. So we're going to go for the labels, because we need labels on our chart, and we're going to go for the actual spending. So to do that, we're going to select the range of cells that has the labels, hold down the control key, and then the range of cells that has the amounts of money spent. So when you're selecting two blocks of data that aren't adjacent to each other, you use the control key and then highlight the different zones you want to highlight. And then we're going to go to the menu and insert a chart. And what you'll notice in a moment is that the options here, the various tabs will they'll change, and there'll be additional tabs available to us because we're working with charts. So we're going to go anyway and insert, and the charts bundle appears over here in the center, and one of those options is a pie chart. So we'll choose the pie chart and go for the 3D pie. And what we can do then is we can keep the chart on this worksheet if we wish, or we could move it to another worksheet. So for convenience, in this clip, I'm going to keep it on this current sheet, but you could go over here and choose the option to move the chart. So if we move the chart, we can go put it in a new sheet if we wish, and sometimes that's appropriate. So you'd select the new sheet option, and you would rename the chart, etc. So we're going to cancel that, and we're going to keep the chart on this current worksheet. Now, the chart by default is selected, and what you'll notice over here, there's a series of options available to us called chart elements, followed by chart styles, followed by chart filters. So at various times in the clip, we may want to look at some of those options. Initially, the chart picks up the labels here, and they become the legend down the bottom. So beef, chicken, lamb, pork, turkey, and venison. And then the values, the amount actually spent from cell C5 down to C10, that's represented by the various slices on this pie chart. So we have slices on the pie chart, and as you can see, as you float over each slice, its description pops up, and the value of it pops up, and its percentage pops up as well. So we have pork, its value 18,706, and it's worth 18% of the overall expenditure. Now, that 18% has been calculated in the pie chart itself. It isn't been drawn from this block here, okay? The data that's contributing to this chart is just what I selected between cell A5 and A10 and C5 and C10. And these percentages over here in D5 to D10 are just there as a kind of a guide to me, so that when I'm looking at an individual slice in the chart, that I can check if the values match. So there we have the venison expenditure is 11% of or turkey expenditure is 11% of the total, which matches what's on the original formula here. So once you've got your initial chart created, it's often appropriate then to format the chart and to change aspects of it. So when we're looking at a chart in Excel, we can click on the entire chart, or you can click on, say, the title of it, or you can click here on the legend area, or you can click on the data series. So this is where the terminology like the labels, the data points, and data series becomes important, because it's going to influence a lot of what's done in this clip and later clips. So first of all, we have the labels. These are data labels, or beef, chicken, lamb, and pork, etc. And then the data points are the individual amounts of money we've spent. So 8,639 is one data point. For venison, the 14,000 plus is another data point. And then together, all these data points make up a data series. And the reason that's important is, as we click on the chart, and activate various parts of it. The distinction between data point, data series, data label will become very important. So if we're on here, we're on the chart, I hope. So I'm going to right click here and click on the border, sorry, and I can format the chart area. If I go into where all the data, individual data points are, and click the whole series, you notice there's the whole area selected, and right click here, I can format the data series. That's the data series side of things, where all of these will be affected by whatever format I go for. If I just click on it again though, all of them are deselected here bar the grey one, okay? And the grey one I think is lamb. So all the other ones are deselected. So if I do something now, if I right click now, it says format data point. So be very conscious of when you're carrying out formatting, whether you're looking at a data point or a data series or whatever. So that's an important thing to be aware of as you progress. Anyway, I'm going to just edit the chart title. So in the chart title, I'm going to call it hospital meat expenditure. So that's the label hospital meat expenditure. Now I might want to make that label appear a bit more presentable. So I can go up here to the format tab. And under the format tab, there's a section called word art. And the word art influences the appearance of this, how text appears basically. So when I click the drop down list here, there's 20 options in total that are available to me. And I'm going to pick this one, the top right hand side. And if you notice as I float over it before I select it, it's described as fill, gold, accent color, 4, soft bevel. And each of those has their own unique label. So as you float around them, you can notice the chart in the background is changing. It's the heading there and the title is changing in its appearance. So you can kind of get a preview as to how it's going to look. So I'm going to go for the top right hand one, as I said, the fill that has gold, accent color, 4, and soft bevel. So that's my choice. And then if I wish, I can change the font size as well. So by right clicking on it, I can go into the font. It's currently 14. I can make it, we'll say 20. I won't make it too big. And hit the OK button. So that's the chart title change. Nothing else has changed bar the title. So I can then change other components of this chart if I wish. And the other components are how the labels might appear, where they appear, the percentage values. Currently, as you can see, they are only visible as I float over the different slices in the pie chart, and I can dictate where they appear and how they look. So I'm going to go now and I'm going to change some of the chart elements. So if you hit the plus sign at the top here, you're going to see the chart elements. And here I have my chart title, my labels, and my legend. So as you can see, the labels is currently deselected and the legend is selected. So what you'll notice is the legend is down here in the bottom for beef, chicken, lamb, pork, turkey, venison. So I can deselect that and they disappear. So what I can do then is I can go into my labels, and my labels initially just display the amounts of money. They don't display the categories, as we call them. Okay, but when I go over here to my data labels and click on the arrow to the right of it, a series of options open up, and the key one for us at the moment is this one called More Options. And under More Options, what we currently have is we have the value is selected, and this option for leader lines is selected. So I'm going to deselect the leader lines feature. When I select it, not much changes, but when I deselect the value option, the money disappears. Instead, if I want to display the labels on top of each slice, I go for the category name. So you can see now the venison has venison, turkey, etc., pork. They all appear now, whereas a moment ago they were turned off. So as I'm changing each of those settings, just observe the chart and see what changes are made. Just do them one at a time, take your time at it, and watch the results on the actual chart. So I'm going to go for my category name, as I said, my venison, etc. I'm going to go for my percentage. And the percentage is calculated brand within the chart tool. Okay, so it isn't picking up these values that I have in cell in column D. The column D values are just there as a guideline to me. So that's how you can change the appearance of some components of my chart. So I said I was in my chart elements, and I had worked on these components, the chart title and the data labels in particular. So what I can do is I can close that feature off, the data series feature off, and my chart now appears again. Now, what I can do then, I have to be very careful with, is format it further. And when I go to format it further, as I said, I can click on the entire all the slices again and go for a data series. And what I have over here on my right hand side is format the data series. So that's taking all of them. So if I make a change here, it's going to apply to the entire chart, or to all the slices in the chart. On the other hand, if I click on just one slice, or sorry, just if I clicked on the label here by accident initially, that it's now going to format my data labels. So be very careful about where you click on the chart or within a slice, or how often you click. So now I've back again to data series, where it's taking all the options or all the slices, pork, lamb, etc. And if I just click on the lamb option, the grey one here, it then switches to data point. So I need to be very careful, as I said, when I'm carrying out further formatting, what I've selected. So that's one of the most important aspects of working with charts in Microsoft Excel. If I want the main block and the main body of the chart to change in appearance, or I want a particular slice to change in appearance, I need to be very aware of what I've actually selected. So again, I'm now back on my labels. So all the labels, as you can see in the chart, are selected. I'm now looking at the data series because all the slices together are selected. And if I just click on pork on its own, so that data point is selected. So whatever I do now will only affect pork. So I'll just do this one before I end the clip. So I'm going to go in here, format data point, and over here I can choose the fill in line, or I can choose the effects. So perhaps I'll choose the effects. And I might go for the shadow and the level of transparency. So I might go for the color here. So I might. Okay, so it's currently kind of in an orange yellow color. If I may make it a darker color, I'm going to go here for a dark brown color. So the shadow is now changed. Okay, it's not the entire area hasn't changed. It's just the shadow area has changed to that particular color. So I'm going to close that data point option and finish the clip again by reminding you that what we have here is a pie chart. So these are my data labels. The individual amounts here are my data points, and all of the values that are make up all of the values that appear in the pie chart, they represent the data series. So that's some of the fundamentals of charts in Microsoft Excel.